is having the chief extension activity, helps in the standing from the sitting position. Nerve is the inferior gluteal nerve. So in case of the muscular dystrophy, like the Duchenne muscular dystrophy, it is getting affected. So patient cannot extend. So patient will be not able to extend the hip. So he will support the knee. So this is known as the Gore sign in case of the gluteus maximus paralysis. Agree better? Okay. Very good, Dr. Jitu, you are right. In case of the anterior dislocation, the femoral nerve will be affected. In case of the posterior dislocation, the sciatic nerve. In case of the medial dislocation, the obturator nerve will be affected. Anatomy application. You are right. Okay, sir. Now, our gluteus medius minimus, they are abductor of the hip joint. One question sure from the gluteal region, na? Yes. So, nerve supply, superior gluteal nerve, if they are getting damage, then positive tendon nerve sign. Yes, unilateral damage, lurching gait. Bilateral damage, waddling gait. Do you remember beta? Lurching gait. Yes, मेरे बच्चों, मैंने कहा था ना, रणभूमि में खेलने से पहले मनोभूमि में खेला जाता है. अरे भाई, हम मनोभूमि में खेल चुके हैं. तुम रणभूमि तैयार कर ही नहीं रहे हो. तुम रणभूमि तैयार करते हो, फिर उसको पोस्टपोन कर देते हो. अरे एग्जाम तो करो. हम तो एग्जाम देने के लिए रेडी है. Yes, remember. So this is our Shakuni Mama gate, and there is a waddling gate, sir. That is our duck-like gait, lurching on the both sides. So just try to understand when we are standing on one limb. Okay, sir. So at that situation, there is the pulling by the gluteus medius minimus, sacrum, opposite pelvis. So opposite pelvis is going up. But if there is a paralysis, there is a fall, drop of opposite pelvis. This is known as the positive Trendelenburg sign. Our way, OP. Okay, getting the point? Okay, sir. Yes, you can remember the dolly also, na? Drop of opposite, lurching on ipsilateral. That is also the another way. Okay, sir. So now can you see this one? Sir, this is the same thing. The thickest nerve of the body, that is the sciatic nerve. Now look over. This is our ischial tuberosity. Very long muscles are arising. So this muscle is having the tendon, and this membrane, this muscle is the membrane like. So that is semitendinosus. Here is a semimembranosus. And can you see this muscle? It is having the two head. Yes, two head. That's why it is our, yes, biceps femoris. And this is our gastrocnemius muscle, lateral head, medial head, gastrocnemius. So can you see the structures at our popliteal fossa? This is our popliteal fossa. You can see, sir, there is our artery, and then vein, and then nerve. So the structures in the popliteal fossa, AVN. What is the sequence, beta? Remember AVN, not the VAN. So these muscles, hamstring muscle, yes, semitendinosus, semimembranosus, biceps femoris, along with the ischial head of the adductor magnus, these are known as the runner's muscle. Yes. So the popliteal fossa boundaries also we had seen here. Can you observe, sir, sciatic nerve is coming, it is dividing into the tibial nerve and the common peroneal nerve. This common peroneal nerve is running towards the neck of the fibula. If it is getting damage here, there is our foot drop. So remember, beta, which muscles are the hamstring muscle or runner's muscle? Sir, semitendinosus, yes, sir, semimembranosus, long head of the biceps femoris, as well as our ischial head of the adductor magnus. These are causing extension at the hip and the flexion at the knee. So they are helping in the running activity. Okay, sir. So this is the compression force of the sciatic nerve. Compression is resulting the sciatica. Yes, neuropraxia is our sleeping foot. And you can see this is the neck of the fibula. If it is getting damaged, there is our foot drop. Yes, so this is the case of the foot drop. Now come to the leg. Leg is having the compartment. What are the different compartments of the leg, beta? So you can remember, sir, anterior compartment, lateral compartment, posterior compartment, medial compartment. Yes, anterior compartment. The hospitals are never dirty places. Tibialis anterior, extensor hallucis longus, anterior tibial artery, deep peroneal nerve, extensor digitum longus, and peroneus tertius. So remember, this all are supplied with which nerve? Deep peroneal nerve. Now lateral compartment, sir, peroneus longus and the peroneus brevis. What is the nerve? Superficial peroneal nerve. So these muscles are supplied by the superficial peroneal nerve. And the medial compartment, sir, no muscle except at the upper part. आज गाड़ी तेरा भाई चलाएगा. So remember, the mnemonic was the Salmon गधे से टकराया. S for sartorius, G for gracilis, S for semitendinous, and T for tibial collateral ligament. Getting the point, everyone? Fine. Okay, sir. So now try to understand, sir, there is our posterior compartment. It is very bulky compartment. So it is having the superficial group and the deep group. Yes, sir. The superficial group, our mnemonic was, yes, GSP. Yes, you are right, Ilam Parithi. Lateral head of the gastrocnemius, there is a fabella is getting ossified. So gastrocnemius is having the lateral head, medial head, and soleus is known as the peripheral head. These all are making the triceps suri, and they are making the tendo achilles, which is the strongest tendon of the body. Plantaris was used for the tendon grafting operation. Okay, sir. So now that was the story of the Troy, which I told you, the strongest person on the earth, Yes, Achilles on his name. The tendocalcaneus is giving the name tendoachilles. Now the deep muscles. Deep muscles you can remember with the mnemonic. What is the mnemonic? Yes, Tulsi Das Amir nahi hai. Otherwise the doctors are never hungry. T for tibialis posterior. Yes sir. D for distrum longus. Yes sir. A for artery, which is the artery, posterior tibial artery. Yes, nerve, which is the nerve of the posterior compartment, tibial nerve, and hallucis longus. So these are the muscles of the posterior compartment. Okay sir, now you can see the foot. So we had given the example of our Martin Guptill, and we had seen our different foot bone. So just observe the different foot bone. One question from the foot. Look here sir, there is the largest foot bone, calcaneum. Above it talus, in front of the talus navicular, and then you can see medial, intermediate, lateral cuneiform. Then you can see the first, second and third metatarsal. On the lateral side cube shaped bone, cuboid, and there is a fourth and fifth metatarsal. Okay sir, phalanges never participate na. Okay sir, so now you can see in our foot there is the concavities which are helping in the running, jumping, all kind of the activity. So this is the longitudinal arch, this is the transverse arch. Okay sir, now look here, what are the different bones which are participating in the longitudinal arch? Magic of 3. First, second, third metatarsal, 3 metatarsal, 3 cuneiform and 3 tarsal, navicular, talus and medial half of the calcaneum. Khatam. Now the magic of 2 for the our lateral longitudinal arch, 4th and 5th metatarsal, cube shaped bone, cuboid, and lateral half of the our calcaneum. If there is a problem in the foot bone, there is the our foot deformity, and the most common congenital deformity of the word is the our CTEV, congenital talipes equinovarus. Okay, so don't forget this one, these are important point. Okay sir, so after this, yes, the main part we had completed. The part abdomen we are going to deal. उड़ा देती है नींद कुछ जिम्मेदारियां घर की, रात में जागने वाला हर शख्स आशिक नहीं होता, वो आपका नीट पीजी स्टूडेंट भी होता है. जगराता की क्लासेस चल रही थी, ये शायरी हमने मारी थी. सो जस्ट रिकॉल दैट ऑल द थिंग्स. यस सर, वी आर गोइंग टू लुक फॉर द आवर एंट्री abdominal wall. So in the anterior abdominal wall, can you see here beta, sir, there is our external oblique, then you can see the internal oblique, then you can see transverse abdominis. There is one muscle which is making the six pack ab. So this is the rectus abdominis muscle. Yes sir. Now we had seen the 8 layers of the abdomen. Why? Because if there is a weakening, there is an incisional hernia. So what are the 8 layers? Do you remember beta? Skin, then superficial fascia, which is having the superficial fatty layer. Yes, that is our Camper's fascia. Deep membranous layer, that is a Scarpa's fascia. No, Gaurav, deltoid and spring ligament, they are different beta. In our detailed classes, regular class we described, you can go for the recorded video part. Otherwise in orthopedics you will see. Otherwise at the end of the session you will ask, I will tell you na. Don't worry beta. Sir, now there is the our muscle, external oblique, internal oblique and the transverse abdominis. And then you can see the fascia transversalis, and then there is a fascia, our extraperitoneal fat, and then there is a peritoneum. They are the many viscera which are behind the peritoneum, known as the retroperitoneal organ. Okay, yes, and the other viscera which are inside the peritoneum, intraperitoneal organ. Now can you see this lower part is making the our inguinal ligament. So this inguinal ligament is nothing, it is the part of the external oblique process. So now we are going to draw this diagram only. Sir, there is a one cavity above it, that is the inguinal canal. So just try to understand the boundaries of the inguinal canal. Very most important, one question sure. So there is the our 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 layers. So can you see this is our inguinal canal? Yes, groove just above the our inguinal ligament. So what are the boundaries? Entry boundary, skin, superficial fascia, external oblique aponeus. What are the posterior boundary? So can you see there is our fascia transversalis, extraperitoneal fat and the peritoneum. What is the superior boundary? Internal oblique and transverse abdominis. The combined joint tendon of these two muscles is known as the conjoint tendon, MCQ. It is also participating in the posterior wall, and the floor is formed by the inguinal ligament, upper group surface, and the content is spermatic cord and ilioinguinal nerve. Remember, in the female this spermatic cord is replaced by the round ligament of the uterus. Okay sir. Now after this, see here, this is the topic of your surgery. Sure question is going to ask. So there is a superficial inguinal ring which is having the triangular size, yes, opening the external aponeus and above the pubic crest, and this is the deep inguinal ring which is oval, fascia transversalis above the mid inguinal point. So there is our inguinal canal. Now the content is spermatic cord and ilioinguinal nerve, which is a pseudo content in female, round ligament of the uterus. So okay sir, so try to understand, testis is descending through this canal into the our scrotum, but sometimes there is an abnormal protrusion of the viscera through this. So can you see this is the rectus abdominis, inferior epigastric artery, and this is our, yes, you can say inguinal ligament. So this triangle is known as the Hasselbeck triangle. We talked about our boundary. So if the intestinal content, they are directly coming through the superficial inguinal ring into the scrotum, directly coming, that's why direct inguinal hernia. But sometimes they are reaching to the deep inguinal ring, then inguinal canal, then here. So this is the indirect inguinal hernia. So one quick revision for the direct and indirect inguinal hernia. Direct inguinal hernia, it occurs in the old patient who are having the weak abdominal musculature, so weak anterior abdominal wall. Yes, through the superficial inguinal ring it will occur, medial to the inferior epigastric artery. Yes, it is occurring through the Hasselbeck triangle, and just do opposite of that, that is indirect inguinal hernia. Indirect inguinal hernia, it occurs in the young patient. Yes, strong anterior abdominal wall is present, it occurs through the deep inguinal ring. Yes, it is lateral to the inferior epigastric artery, it is outside the Hasselbeck triangle. Agree beta? Fine.